you as a player, which you don't get to do very much anymore,
Yeah.
or what you've seen from your own players as a dungeon master, what are some of the things that your favorite things about D&D? Is it creating like really elaborate strange stories? Is it uh tailor making things for your players? Is it combat, imaginative combat, or is this like social interactions, or is it a little bit of all of it? Like what's the thing that gets you most excited?
Uh, that's a good question. A little bit is it's a little bit of all of it. I work on D&D. I think I kind of have to have an appreciation for all of the moving parts. When it comes to DMing my own games, one of the things that I ask my players in session zero is what what's a moment you want? Just like it doesn't have to be super specific. It can be, but what's a thing that you want to happen, or a story you want to be able to tell, or an anecdote you need, or anything like that. And sometimes it's like, I want to find a cool sword. And that's great because I can make that. That's exciting. I can work with that. And sometimes it's like, I want to overcome my deep seated fear of spiders. And it's like, all right, we're gonna have to work on that. There's a lot of, and so I love asking players for this because then I get to provide that to them. I think that's the biggest thing. I want you to tell me stories, and I'm going to facilitate that as best I can.
Is that part of being a dungeon master? Is that you have to fall in love with your player characters a little bit, the ones that you're running,
Absolutely.
because that's the thing that gets me the most excited is because I think we've all been there. We've all played maybe a game where we felt like we were secondary to the story. But when your dungeon master puts you in the forefront and you get that chance, because a video game will never give you that personalization. That's like one of the most magical things for me as a DM to see
Yeah.
that happen, to see that spark in their eyes when they're like, oh, it's happening. That thing that's about me is happening.
Yes. And I think sometimes video games get close, but even then, it's just you. It's
Yeah.
never me and my new best friend because we've gone adventuring for the last year in game time or in real life. People have the groups I'm running now, they've been going for uh, almost 2 years now. And so, yeah, they've been working together. They care when the other characters are happy or sad or whatever. And so it gives you that togetherness as well.
You mentioned the spotlight character, which happens sometimes in games, and I kind of feel like I have also made this mistake. What is key to like chemistry around the D&D table? Because yes, if you're the bard, College of Eloquence, there's probably a real threat of you talking to every stone and every troll.
Yeah, absolutely. Uh, but that's fun, and I think that's the key to it is everyone's going to have fun at the table. The greatest thing that you can do at the table is set someone else up to have fun. Uh, give them the moment, bring them into the conversation. The bard, the College of Eloquence bard, the one who's talking to everyone. You know, they're talking to the troll, they're talking to the rocks, they're talking to the trees, whatever. They can just go, "Hey, what do you think?" And now another character gets to participate. And sure, the bard of eloquence is going to be making the persuasion check, but it's a moment for everyone to participate, and that's player facing advice.
What is your favorite thing about NPCs? Because I quite love these non-player characters that you have in this adventure that you wrote.
I like a non-player character that you believe. Just when I tell you, hey, this is what this character is going to do, and you go, yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, that tracks.
There's strong motivations like for all the characters that you have presented in this adventure. I fully believe it,
Yeah.
and I fully believe I have walked into someone else's story, and now it's part of my story. But it all links up, and everyone's got a motivation. And some of those motivations are petty. Some of those motivations of I just want to be left alone, and I have a wonderful coral crown. You know,
Absolutely.
but like I do feel like there is a sense in a very short amount of time of history in this
Yeah.
adventure.
I had my first game master. It wasn't even for D&D, but told me that the best advice for when you're DMing is that everyone has a story that they would like to tell or find, but everyone has a story. And if you make the NPCs feel that way too, the world feels alive.
That's really good advice. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah,
Everyone,
she's great.
not necessarily a giant red eye on top of a tower, but someone that you can have a discussion with.
Yeah. And even then, sometimes the giant red eye on the tower is a lot of fun if you know exactly what the eye is about.